You guys, I think Hudson O'Neal might be becoming a bit of a late model villain. We'll talk about that, plus last night's Lucas action, the Brad Doty Classic at Attica, and much more. Let's go. It's Tuesday, July 16th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is Dirt Tracker Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. In just a few short hours, really, this is going to happen tomorrow. Sprint cars will be on track at Eldora Speedway, and another big Eldora event means another opportunity to visit our friends at the Whistle Stop Bar and Grill. It's located just 7 miles south of the racetrack. Head down to Ansonia for some good food, some good drink. If you stop in there, make sure you say hi to Andrew as well. Let him know that Dirt Tracker sent you. You can even order food and bring it back to the racetrack with you. And besides the Whistle Stop, they also have a sister business located in downtown Greenville, Ohio called Sure Shot Tap House. Sure Shot Tap House is a 46-tap self-pour facility featuring domestic and craft beer, ciders, seltzers, bourbons, and wines. They also have a self-serve cocktail machine that complements their amazing food menu. If you venture upstairs, check out the Bullseye Game Lounge. They've got duck pin bowling as well as 24 arcade games, making Sure Shot the ultimate destination to eat, drink, and play all under one roof. And new this year, they're running buses from Eldora Speedway to Sure Shot on the Fridays of all major events, and that includes this week. So you can check out the Kings Royal Prelim Night on Friday, then hop on the bus, head down to Sure Shot for a little bit of after hours. The trip includes a buffet, a $15 pork card, swag bag, and a whole lot more. Visit SureShotTapHouse.com/events for more information on this great trip. Entertaining show last night at Eagle Raceway with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Hudson O'Neal and Ricky Thornton Jr. have dominated the headlines the last week, and wouldn't you know it, those two ended up racing for the win. O'Neal came out on top, picking up his first series victory since East Bay back on February 6th. That was obviously when he was still driving the Rocket House car. He had won some other late model races lately in his own car and with Kevin Rumley, but not on tour with Lucas. O'Neal led early, gave it up to RTJ for a few laps, and then took over for good on lap 13. Thornton finished second after starting second, and Jonathan Davenport was third. Some big chargers in that feature as well, including Tim McCready, 12th to 5th, Max Blair, 15th to 7th, Ross Robinson, 18th to 8th, and Drake Troutman, actually the hard charger on the night, 20th to 9th. The race wasn't without a little drama, including O'Neal and RTJ battling pretty hard, and a run-in with the lap car of Corey Lawler that knocked Dalton Wilson and Garrett Alberson out of contention. Thornton made it pretty clear afterwards whose fault he thought that deal was with the lap car. I was not surprised to see O'Neal win. I just want to say that right off the top. We certainly know what that car is capable of, and O'Neal knows how to win on the big stages. I'm also not shocked to see a motivated Ricky Thornton Jr. mixing up at the front and not looking like a guy who's trying to build a newer team into a national touring contender. It would be disrespectful to characterize Kohler as some low-level or local team, but it should be noted what RTJ has done through just 2 starts with a fresh group. He clearly feels like he's got something to prove, and I think that will continue to provide us with plenty of entertainment going forward. What I was at least a little surprised by last night, though, was the reaction to O'Neal's win. After the Victory Lane interview with Dustin Jarrett, the Eagle crowd showered O'Neal with a chorus of boos, and some of the reaction in other places has not been so positive. I certainly understand the reasons behind it. I've seen some of those same comments and feelings from people on my own videos and shows the last several days and, last week or so as we've talked about O'Neal and Ricky Thornton Jr. and this whole SSI situation. But I guess I didn't expect it to be on display so publicly. It's clear that at least some portion of the race fans are viewing Hudson O'Neal as a little villain-like in the aftermath of this situation. I will say that racing, it's a cutthroat business, and I don't blame O'Neal for any of the decisions he made. It's just a big game of musical chairs, and if you're not prepared for that, you're going to get burned. And I say that as someone who has had similar things happen to them in motorsports, that is, getting shuffled out of deals. I'll be curious to see if this little bit of a reputation that O'Neal seems to have gained here will persist into the future, or if everybody will just forget about this in a few weeks. I think it'll be fun here, especially if O'Neal maybe hangs on to a little bit of this villainness that he's suddenly gained. No change in the Lucas standings after last night, although Huddy is only 50 points back now of McCready. Lucas will race again tonight at Shelby County with $10,000 to the winner. This will be the series debut at the track, so nobody will have a notebook here. After tonight, teams are off tomorrow, and then the Silver Dollar Nationals begins Thursday at Huset's. If you want some other late model action today, the Southern Nationals are at I-75 in Tennessee for another 7,500 to win show. Some drivers there to expect include Tanner English, Sam Seawright, Dalton Cook, the most recent winner in Dale McDowell, and more. Donald McIntosh currently leading that Southern Nationals championship through 3 races. And elsewhere last night, the Sprint Car Challenge Tour kicked off their Western Sprint Tour Speedweek with night number 1 at Cottage Grove Speedway in Oregon. Tyler Thompson, an Oregon driver, the winner over Andy Forsberg and Braden Chiaramonte. Chiaramonte leading the SCCT standings through 6 races. The Speedweek continues tonight at Coos Bay with Douglas County, Marysville, Silver Dollar, and Placerville still to come through Saturday. So starting in Oregon, kind of moving back south here for this Speedweek. At Attica tonight, it's Brad Doty Classic time for the World of Outlaws Sprint Cars, $15,000 to win and $1,200 to start. And a race that a lot of the sprint car drivers and teams want to win. There's obviously a lot of respect out there for Brad Doty. And that trophy helmet might be one of the coolest prizes in sprint car racing. I would expect a healthy field tonight leading into Eldora. With this event drawing 48 cars in 2023, I would not be surprised to be somewhere in that neighborhood again this year. And the field will likely include Kyle Larson. He's won this race the past 2 years. Rico Abreu actually posted a photo very late last night to social media of his and Larson's cars parked next to each other. They were apparently getting in some practice somewhere. Seems like was probably at Lincoln Park Speedway. That's obviously not that far from where they're going to be racing today. I saw some comments around that photo as well about the legality of practice and testing in sprint car racing. And just to help clear that up, there are no rules for testing. Sprint car teams can practice and test all they want on off days. It'd be incredibly difficult to police if series did indeed try and put some sort of rules on it. This is something we've talked about plenty in the past when it comes to some of the late model teams and the testing and the practice they do as well. There will be a number of other high limit teams racing against the Outlaws tonight as well. You know, we're going to be right into Eldora, so this will be a good chance to get, some more laps in and an opportunity to win some good cash tonight as well. I think this could be a solid chance for Carson Macedo and Donnie Schatz to close down even more on David Gravel for that World of Outlaws Championship, as both have better average finishes here at Attica recently. Schatz was actually a winner at Attica last season also. And then besides High Limit, the full-time Outlaws, and this ongoing championship battle, you'll also have the full complement of Ohio regulars racing tonight. Guys like Cale Thomas, Cap Henry, Caleb Henry are just a few names to keep an eye on. If, maybe one of these guys can jump up and maybe snag a win or, at least finish top 5, top 10. And then after tonight, it's off to Eldora for Kings Royal weekend. Don't overlook the action tonight. I think you have a good show tonight, but then we'll go right into Eldora, 2 nights for High Limit and 2 nights for the World of Outlaws. We'll call it good for today's episode right there. If you want even more dirt racing content, stop by DIRTRACKR.com/theslider and sign up for our free email newsletter. You can read past issues there as well, including a new piece from just a few days ago by Pat Sullivan. DIRTRACKR.com, also your home for updated dirt racing news, the analytics section, and the daily streaming schedule. Hope you guys have a great Tuesday out there. We will see you right back here tomorrow.